Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be showing you a quick and easy way to make gift card envelopes that can be used for any occasion, but today I'm using a Christmas theme. And these envelopes can also be used as tags or ornaments. And I will also be talking to you about wax seals and how I use them to seal the envelopes. But first things first, let me show you how to make the gift card envelope. So, if you're using an 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock or scrapbook paper, you'll be able to get 3 envelopes from that. With the 8.5 inches going across the top and the 11 inches going down the side, just cut 3 pieces that are 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. It's that easy and practically no waste. And if you're using 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, you can get 4 envelopes. Start by cutting it to 8.5 inches and then set that piece aside and turn the paper so that the 8.5 inches goes across the top, and then cut 3 pieces that are 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then take that first piece that you cut off, which is 3.5 inches by 12 inches, and just cut that down to 8.5 inches, and you have your 4th piece to make 4 envelopes. Now it's time to score, and with the 8.5 inches across the top and the 3.5 inches down the side, you are going to score at 3 3/4 inches and at 7.5 inches. And then you will turn it and score it at 1/2 inch and 3 inches. And that is all the scoring. So now you just flip it over and fold in on all of the score lines and burnish them so that they fold smoothly. And I don't know how I managed to tear that flap, but it's not going to matter because right now it's time to do a little cutting, and I'll be removing that. So for this cutting, it's easiest if you have the 3 3/4 inch section folded up at an angle so you can easily see where the score line is, because you will be cutting off the side flaps all the way down to that score line. And as you saw, I made sure that the 1 inch section was at the other end where I started cutting. As you can see, I'm just following that score line and cutting off those side pieces. And then once you do that, just cut little angles to miter the corners on the 2 remaining flaps, and this is what it will look like. Then simply fold the flaps in and fold the other piece up and the flap over, and that is the beginning of the envelope. Now before we go any further, we need to do a couple other things. So on the end where those flaps are, you'll need to cut a little notch in the center, and you can easily do that with scissors just by making a little slit downward at the center and then cutting in at an angle from each side, the same way you would cut the ends of a banner. Or you can use a punch, and I just happen to have a punch from Creative Craft Products that cuts out notches. So I just centered it and punched and got a perfect little notch. And then I'll move to the opposite end where we have the flap, and you can leave it just the way it is, or you can round the corners like I'm doing with that same Creative Craft Products punch, because on the other side it has the corner rounder. And now it's time to do a little gluing, and you can use double-sided tape or a liquid glue, and I'm going to be using my Beacon 3-in-1 because I think it holds better. But either way, just put your adhesive on those 1/2 inch wide flaps and then fold and make sure that the edges are sealed securely. And now your gift card envelope is ready for you to insert the gift card that fits nicely into it and is easy to remove. But we are not done. We haven't discussed how to seal that. So there are many ways that you can seal these, but I was thinking that wax seals would be perfect. I'm going to be using this wax seal complete kit from PandaHall that comes with everything you need to get started. And since today's video has a Christmas theme, I will also be using this Christmas wax seal kit that comes with 2 wooden handles and 6 absolutely perfect stamp heads for Christmas. And this Christmas wax seal kit that comes in its own little box to keep it stored in. And those are all from PandaHall. And so One of my favorite things about this starter kit from PandaHall is that it literally comes with everything. So I've got the little warmer here, and this is like really sturdy, okay? Really sturdy. I'm really impressed because I have another one that's not so sturdy. And I love this. So they usually come with these little candles, but these come in these adorable little tins. And so when you're done, you can seal it back up. And when it's empty, you can either add another candle or use these for something else. So this is kind of one of my favorite things about this. It comes with the little spoon that sits nicely on the warmer. It comes with a great collection of the little wax beads. A nice assortment of colors, and I actually chose this one because I thought the yellow kind of looked gold, and this is kind of a copper. This is maybe a different color gold. There's blue, there's white. There are colors that I thought I could use for every occasion, but especially for Christmas because that's kind of the theme I'm going with here. And it comes with these metallic pins, and I'll be showing you more about using these later. But in fact, I'll be using them on what I'm showing you. But it comes with a set of 2 gold and 2 silver. And it also comes with a stamp. So let me open this up here and pull this out. So you get a stamp, which you cannot see good here. This is, a little stamp head. And it just screws right onto the handle that comes with it. And if you end up getting other stamp heads, I believe they will screw on as well. Yes, they will. So this is from another set, and it also screws on. So it's really nice that, things are interchangeable, and it literally comes with everything you need to get started. I'm not going to be using this part of it because I have another set that I'm going to be using that comes with a variety of Christmas ones that you saw in the picture that I already posted at the beginning of the video and also just before this section. And it came with the wooden handles. So let me grab those really quick. I've already got 2 of them ready to go. And these are really gorgeous, nice wooden handles. And I am ready to get started. That kind of gives you an idea of what I'm going to be using right now. And also, I kind of want to bring this over, so hold on a second here. Okay. It is good to set the stamp heads that you're using on a baggie filled with ice. And it keeps them cold and really helps with the impressions when stamping. And I do not have access to ice right now. So I actually have a bag of rice that's been in the freezer that I use when I need an ice pack. And so I have them sitting on that to keep them nice and cold for the impressions. So I'm going to move this over to the side and we're going to get started by lighting one of these little candles. And if you have a little lighter or matches. I just have this really big thing. So let's see how this works here. Get that lit. Oh, yep, it lit beautifully. Okay, and I'm just gonna move that over here and set this on top. So my warmer is ready to go. And I think for this first one, I'm gonna use some of these red little wax pieces here. And I'm going to use about 3 of them. It's hard to tell. Different ones are different. Some of them you need 2, some you need 3. It just depends. So I'm going to put that on there. And we're going to be using that to seal this. And I'm not going to make you sit here and wait while that melts. So I'll be right back as soon as it's melted. Okay, so remember I said that these would make great tags or Christmas ornaments. Okay, Well, what you can do is you can use a little hole punch, and so kind of halfway punch right here on the top, or you can use a craft knife, a pair of scissors. I'm going to use my little pokey tool here and kind of poke a little hole there, and then I'm going to use my scissors and just make a little snip each direction like so. And I've got about an 8-inch piece of ribbon here, which I am going to fold in half, and hopefully I cut my hole big enough there. Pull that through like so. Okay, so now we have that little loop at the top, and we have the pieces of ribbon sticking out down here at the bottom. And I know this is hard, I've got it white on white here, but that looks like that. You can even pull this down a little bit further if you wanted to. Okay, and it looks like this is melted. And so again, I'm going to pour it right over that opening, including the ribbon. Okay, and we're just going to let that sit for a minute. And so this is an example though of how it can be used for a tag or a Christmas ornament, you know, to hang on the tree, because a lot of times we like to hang gift cards on the Christmas tree. So this is a really good way to do that. And I want to find something to stick under there so you can see it better. Well, you know what? Let me just take this off first and set that back over here and grab my little marker. And I was right, I put it on upside down. You guys can just laugh at me all you want. So I'll show it to you that way. It said Merry Christmas. You know, if you do these right, they're really beautiful, and I'm not perfect. I'm not even going to pretend to be, okay? So that is a great way to do this. Then you can hang it as a tag, hang it as an ornament, and wait a minute, watch for it. When it's time to open it, grab the 2 little pieces of ribbon and lift up, and it opens. So that is a cute idea. If I would just get it on there right. I will tell you what part of my problem is that I have my table raised up. I have one of those tables that go up and down, and I have it raised up enough so that it's close to the camera so you can see it, but then it's in an awkward position for me to kind of be over things, because I like to be over things, and this kind of puts me at an angle. So I don't know, maybe I will lower the table a little bit when I come back and see if that helps. This is just a plain envelope I made while I was just playing around in the beginning before I made the video. And I wanted to show you that this is one of those notches I was talking about that you don't need a punch for. On this one, all I did was cut down and then cut into that at an angle. And I did use a corner rounder, but you could always use scissors to do the corners. Okay, that's melted, and I'm actually putting it on a piece of wax paper because I don't want to keep wasting these to show you. I've already shown you, you know, how to you know, put it on there, and what a great way it is to seal these, and how to use it with the ribbon, and how the ribbon can open it. So I've already shown you all about, but I kind of want to show you how fun it is to use these. And you know, you're saying, okay, well, I'm putting it on wax paper, now what? Well, the fact is you can make these ahead of time if you just want to glue them on, because you know, maybe you just want to have a collection of these to use. And by the way, hold on, I'm putting some more in here, and this time I'm going to put in 4 for the bigger one, but hold on a second, let me get the smaller one over here. And okay, got that in there. And I'm putting in 4 of this other color blue that's also really pretty. They're not the same. Let me see They kind of looked the same just then, but they're not. This one is much deeper than that one. This one is kind of a lighter, almost a silvery blue, really pretty. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, you can make up a bunch of these in advance and save them and just glue them onto whatever you want them on, whether it's tags or envelopes or, you know, the gift card envelopes. So this time I used the smaller head and it worked much better. So let me show you here really quick what it looks like. You see? It fits much nicer. So I think that the larger head takes 4. And let me grab the silver again. I really like the silver on the blue. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm just going over it. I'm not really coloring it. It's hitting the raised areas is what it's doing. You know, you don't want to poke it down inside because then, yes, it will hit the area that you don't want it to. So just kind of be careful with it. But basically, I'm just wiping it across the raised areas. So I'm not going straight down. I'm going kind of sideways here. And this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Just hold on 1 second here and I will lift this up for you to see. Look at that. Oh, it is so beautiful. Okay, so what we've learned is that the larger stamp heads require larger, or not larger, but more of these. Okay, so I'm going to be using one of the larger ones on that one. And which one do I want to use? Oh, I know which one I want to use because I wanted to try this one again. So hold on a second while I switch the head on that. Got the different stamp head on there. This is one I already used, but I want to see if I can get it right now that I have the table down a little bit lower and I'm hopefully using the right amount. Ooh, that looks so pretty. So like I didn't clean this out previously because it already had blue, even though I'm using a different color blue. Oh my gosh, the effect that this thing has is fabulous. Okay, so hopefully I've got enough on there this time. And like I said, you know, I'm over the top of it. I'll probably get my head in the way. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay, now while that's doing that, I want to clean this one out and change color. And what I'm going to do is, after I do the one that I just showed you, I'm just going to make up a bunch of them and come back. And that way you don't have to sit here and watch me clean this out every time and wipe that off there, you know, and go through all this because it is time consuming. But I do want you to see how beautiful these are. You know what, I'll use gold on the blue this time. I just want you to see how beautiful these are and give you some ideas because personally I'm going to be using these on my Christmas card envelopes this year, so they're not just for using on the gift card envelopes. And these are great for on tags as well. I mean, there's so many ways you can add these to your crafts. And this is so pretty. So I did learn it does take 4 for the larger stamp head and 3 for the smaller one. So let me lift this one up so you can see that. Look at that. Merry Christmas. It's got the reindeer and the stars and everything. It's so beautiful. And then you can just peel these off. And it works better if they're on silicone. I think I'll try it on parchment paper. But you can peel them off. And then you can just glue them on, you know, have a collection of them ready and then just glue them on when you need them. I just wanted you to get a good look at this one because I think this is the coolest ever. It is the official seal of the North Pole. And if you have kids or grandkids, this is a must-have at Christmas time. I hope you liked this tutorial and maybe learned a little bit about wax seals. As for decorating them, there are so many possibilities, and I always like leaving that creativity up to you. Also, if you are interested, there are links below in the description box to the products that I used, and there will also be a discount code for you to PandaHall should you decide to shop there. Thank you so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.